Hi everyone! So we recently did our OwlBabble Instagram live show with Amanda Foody, who wrote Ace of Shades, which was our April book pick. It was really fun, and in case you missed it, we wanted to share it with you here on YouTube as well. So enjoy! Yes. Hello! Just got going about a minute early to let people find the video. So excited. Oh, hi guys! Hi everyone! We're just gonna stay here for a minute or two so people can join the video and Amanda can join us. And then we will start OwlBabble. Yes!
Hello everybody, so nice to see you all.
You will be able to see and hear who's watching?
That will be when you get requests.
Or
Oh yeah.
I wonder if you're able to search for who's joined
Right there. Sorry guys, we're just gonna get a little bit set up here. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Alrighty. Someone's just asking if there's going to be any spoilers in the chat, and there won't be.
There shouldn't.
You don't need to worry.
Hey guys!
Hi!
Hello! Trying to get this set up. It's a little crooked. Okay.
No, it's good. Get comfy.
I think I have my volume all the way up. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. We're excited.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. I have a bit of a cold today, so if I'm sneezing, that's why.
Fine. The allergies is real right now. I will also
Yeah.
sneeze 6 times over the course of this video.
Perfect. We're ready. All right, so I guess we have quite a few people watching already, so I'm just gonna explain what's happening right now.
Okay.
So everyone watching, hello. We've been joined by Amanda Foody. This is so exciting. Author of Ace of Shades. And today we're going to be doing OwlBabble. So we're going to be asking Amanda and you guys and ourselves some fun questions that you can answer with us. And then at the end of the video, we can ask Amanda some questions as well.
Yeah.
Amanda is doing a cool giveaway where she's giving away a red copy, so the original version signed of Ace of Shades. It's unfortunately US only, but we'll be picking a random comment at the very end of the video and somebody will win a book, which is fun. So thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of copies.
I can imagine, yeah. All right, so are we good to go?
I'm all set up. I'm ready.
We're ready. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're just going to dive in. Is that good? Or do you actually want to sum up Ace of Shades for us real quick?
Yeah. So Ace of Shades is a book set in the so-called City of Sin, which has a very gritty reputation of being somewhere where nobody leaves uncorrupted. Which would be a very terrible place for a character like Salta to end up, she is a very proper young lady. Her greatest aspiration is to graduate her finishing school and then officially earn that title. However, the reason she is there is that her mother has gone missing, so she leaves absolutely everything behind in order to go find her. Her only clue is the name Levi Glazier, who turns out to be very far from the gentleman that she was expecting. He ends up being a street lord and a con man, and he is basically neck deep in a very dangerous debt. And he sees helping N as a way of paying out his debts. So the two of them go on this hunt across the City of Sin in order to find N's mother and dig up all the secrets along the way. Yeah.
I just finished Ace of Shades 2 days ago, and I was the end of the seat the entire time. Absolutely loved it. It was so fun.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, it has been very, very close to my heart. It's very, very cool seeing it hit shelves.
Yay. That's awesome.
So do you just want to get started and do all the silly questions that we've kind of prepared?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. All right, so everybody who's watching, you guys can also answer these questions. We'll be reading out some of your answers afterwards as well. So the first question we have, and this is the one I struggled to answer the most, is something called the shadow game plays a very important role in Ace of Shades. If you were able to play one fictional game or sport or competition, which would you choose?
Okay, I would definitely pick the Pokemon League. Hands down. I was such a huge Pokemon fan growing up, and I still totally am. and I had the biggest fantasy of turning 10 years old and just abandoning my family to go travel the world.
Same,
Collect
girl.
Pokemon matches. It's still like I look forward to the day that I grow up enough that I'm able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good one.
Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
We were thinking about it, and we're like, we don't want to play Quidditch. That's scary. We don't want to play.
No. I have a huge fear of heights. I would be so bad at
Yeah,
Quidditch.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what did you pick for?
So I know that physical strength is not something I have, so I didn't want to do any of like the really intense like fantasy tournaments or anything, but I quite like the idea of fictional like card games, kind of like what's in Ace of Shades. So I chose a game called Bite and Sting, which is from The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutowski. Rukowski? Yeah, you always say her name right. Because like I think that I could get skilled at a card game. Yeah. So that's what I chose.
And I went full nerd. And I picked there's an online game in the contemporary book Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. And they play like, it's like, not Dungeons and Dragons.
Like World of Warcraft.
Like World of Warcraft. And it's called Battle Quest. And I was like, I could do that.
Yeah. I've actually been told by people that there's something called the Shadow Game in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is very funny because when I was like 6 years old at my grade school, like there were gangs of, 6-year-olds of, there were the Pokemon kids and then there were the Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids and like we didn't date with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids. So the fact that found its way into my book is like a little bit shameful. I had no idea. But it's fine. It's pretty
Yeah, we had both kids too, I think, growing up.
For sure. But I was all about the Pokemon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well.
Okay, we've got some really good answers from people watching of different games.
Yeah, I've been reading. You guys are really intense.
Yeah.
All these people saying like the Hunger Games and like Wizard's Chess. Like, really? That's so
Do you want to die?
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, we've got lots of Quidditch. We've got the Egg Hunt in Ready Player One.
Oh, that's a good one.
Warcross, Marie Lou.
Again, you guys are intense.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a few people saying the Oasis from Ready Player One.
I guess you'd like kind of grow up in that, wouldn't you? So. Yeah.
Competition games from Percy Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't read Percy Jackson yet.
Yeah, the games they play at Camp Half-Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, good on. So I guess we can keep going. We are leaving quite a bit of time at the end for you to answer questions because we always get tons of questions for the authors at the end. So, so question 2 is New Reigns. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, New Reigns.
Yeah. New Reigns is a city full of danger and sin. Can you recommend a book to us that also features like a gritty city in it?
Okay. I would definitely pick The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that book.
One of her standalones that came out a few years ago. And it came out kind of at the end of the whole vampire movement.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like, I know you've read 80 books about vampires. I'm going to give you a book that is like nothing you've ever read about vampires. And it was incredible. I mean, just genuinely awesome. I love that book so much. And Cold Town was just so cool. I mean, I really recommend it if you're looking for a weirder fantasy.
Yeah, I also read the book once it came out a few years ago, and it is a vampire story, but it is so unique.
Yeah.
Yep.
And intense and creepy.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the next
definitely.
one back on my list.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but it sounds so cool.
Yeah. I love high fantasy, so I read quite a few. This gritty city thing kind of is a theme in high fantasy a lot
Yeah,
of
it
the time.
definitely is.
But I really love, there's a city called Camor, which is from The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch.
Oh, okay.
And that one is really, it's kind of like almost half sci-fi, but it's like, it's not a very nice place. You wouldn't really want to live there, but it plays just like, it's like almost its own character.
Yeah.
But.
And then I've got it right here. I'm gonna miss. No. I chose Gunslinger Girl by Lindsay Ellie, which is like, it's like casinos and stuff, and it's really glitzy and glamorous, but then it's also like a Wild West kind of setting. So it's, I don't know, I really enjoyed this one, and it was quite different from any other like fantasy I'd read before.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked this one out, I highly recommend it. It just came out in January this year, I think. So
Yeah, that one surprised me.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's really good.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What do you guys think of this?
We've got
Liza Blackmore. Yeah.
Westeros
That's
from Game of Thrones.
Oh.
That's intense.
Yeah.
We've got the Londons from A Darker Shade of Magic. It's like many different cool cities in one. Obviously, Ketterdam from Six of Crows. That's a big one.
I tried not to pick that one.
Yeah. Lots of people agreed with Cold Town.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like an underrated Holly Black book. More people need to pick that one up.
Yeah.
I could like sing praises for days about like underrated Holly Black books. It's like a whole
She's amazing.
Yeah, I'm like so excited to go back and like read all of the stuff from her that I've missed because she's got so many.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I mean, we can keep going. It's already almost a quarter after. How is this happening?
Yeah.
Time is
wow.
flying. All right, so question 3 is, there are 3 different street gangs in Ace of Shades that we know of. If you could have any 3 fictional characters in your own crew, who would you pick?
Okay. I'm really glad you gave me 2 questions beforehand because this would have been so hard. All right, so thinking of like the normal dynamics of like a crew, first you would have the mastermind character, I guess. So this is a little bit of a cheat because the book hasn't come out yet, but it is probably one of my favorite books I've ever read, so I'm just ready to sing its praises. And it doesn't come out till July, but it's Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Yeah,
that's a sequel to Uprooted, right?
It's kind of a sequel. It's like it's a similar book. If you liked Uprooted, you would love this book.
Nice.
And there's a character in it called Irina, who, granted, I could have picked any character from that book, but she was just, the way that she begins in her final character arc, I have a lot of feelings, and she's just so clever, and she could be my mastermind. Then I would have to pick, like, the muscle. I would probably pick Jude from Little Prince. Because Jude is
smart.
The stuff that girl is capable of, like, she could be my muscle. I'd be
very She does not hold back.
Yeah. Then you have to have kind of, like, the tech guru, like, the little, like, low-key genius, and I would have to pick Shuri from Black Panther, because I can't think of anybody who could possibly, like, one-up her, or who is as funny and dresses as well, which brings a lot. I'm really not sure how I would be enhancing this group. I think I'd probably just be there for comic relief, but...
you need that, too.
Yeah.
I was very excited to put together a girl gang for, like, book 2 reasons. So, yeah.
Nice. I'm excited. Me too. It's going to be so long. What about you, Cor?
I kind of went about it the same way, but... yeah, so I wanted someone who was stealthy. So I picked Inej from Six of Crows. And I also just love her. And then I also wanted someone with brains. So I picked Hermione from Harry Potter. And then I needed someone like with the muscle, with some powers. So I picked Zelie from Children of Blood and Bone. But all 3 ladies have their own strength and powers, of course. But I liked the idea of making my own girl gang. Although, like you, I don't know what I'm offering this group. They would probably pick me out.
Yeah.
But
every group needs a book nerd.
Maybe I'd be the plotter.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have a very good rhyme or reason behind my choices, but I picked Adia, who is like the Spartacus character in Blood and Sand by C.V. Wick, which just came out. It's like a gender-bent Spartacus story, she's awesome.
Yeah,
But she's also like a nice person. So, and then I picked Kaladin, who is one of the main characters in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. And he can do all sorts of cool stuff because he can fly.
Oh, convenient.
so, I mean, I figure a flyer is handy. We can do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
True.
And then I just picked Gideon from Foolish Hearts.
That's so random.
Because I figure I'm going to be really stressed out in any situation where I need a crew to protect me. And Gideon will make me feel better.
Yeah, he'll keep the crew from like killing each other as well.
True. He'll make me less stressed out, and I need that in my life. So no girls in my gang.
No.
Fail.
I'm probably not going to know all of the names that people are suggesting. We've got Reese, I think, from Court of Thorns and Roses. Hermione and Isabella Lightwood from
Yeah,
Mortal
nice,
Instruments.
nice.
Oh yeah, someone wants Jude and Carden from The Cruel Prince. I think that gang would be fighting a lot.
Might be a little dysfunctional.
Oh my god, someone said, just a gang of 3 sexy resand. just resand over and over again.
That person knows what they're about.
Oh, I like this one. Selena Sardathian, Clary Frey, and Arya Stark. Pretty badass.
That's pretty badass.
That's a good one.
Yeah, lots of people want resend in their gang.
We always have at least one question in these chats where the answer for most people is resend.
Yeah.
Pardon me, excuse me.
Some of these are just like so random and fun.
And this video will be saved for 24 hours on our Instagram, and it will eventually go up on YouTube as well. So you can come back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Should we keep going?
Sure.
All right, so question 4. There is a bit of a slowly developing romance in your book. What is another slow-burning romance from a different book that you love? Or a different fictional anything?
Yeah. I'd have to pick Han and Reza from the Seven Realms series. I love these books, but like if I had to pick a book that inspired the Ace of Shades book, like hands down, I would pick The Demon King, which is the first in the series.
Only read the first one, but it was really good.
It's such a good series. Like I highly recommend it. Yeah, that's definitely like a slow on and off burn the whole series.
Love that.
You don't even know pain unless you it.
Yeah, that I need to continue on with that one.
I haven't read it.
It's kind of a classic YA fantasy, that one.
It definitely is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's a good choice. I'm excited to read more now.
Yeah, now you're like, oh, this reminded me.
Yeah. I can go.
Yeah, you go.
So I picked Puck and Sean from The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really great standalone novel, and they make you wait.
That's true.
Yep.
But The Scorpio Races is such a beautiful book, and their romance is a little bit frustrating, but good.
I didn't even think of Blue and Gansey. That actually is
Two.
Yeah.
Maggie. She does a good job with the slow burn.
Yeah. I'm just all about the Winter's Curse today. So I chose Kestrel and Aaron from that trilogy. Mostly just because like their relationship is just like good, then bad, then good, then bad, all the way through 3 whole books, and you just want them to be okay. But yeah.
Why
I like
hate to love when you could have like hate to love to hate to love to hate to love over?
I mean, to be fair, it kept me invested. I needed to know. What are the people saying today?
They are saying Julian Blackthorne and Emma Carstairs. I think that's from
Lord of Shadows? Or the
Cassandra
first one?
Clare.
Cassandra Clare.
Kaz and Inej, that's another favorite of mine. Aelin and Rowan from Throne of Glass. Hermione and Ron Weasley. Cute.
Classic.
Yeah. Khalid and Shazi, which is I think from oh no, it's failing me. Renee Audier.
Oh, I
Wrath in the
haven't
Dawn.
read that yet.
People are just saying slow burns are the best. Agreed.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, and don't want to spoil anything, but the romance in the A Darker Shade of Magic series, it's a pretty good slow burn.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Clark and Lexa from the 100. Yep. Lots of good ones. Alec and Magnus from
Oh, I love them.
Mortal Instruments. Trees.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's keep going. So the people in the world of Ace of Shades are born with talents or different abilities. Do you have any hidden talents of your own?
Yes, actually. you, but the one that I definitely like to show off the most, if you let me, is I can juggle.
Oh, yeah, juggle, if you can.
I have nothing around me. Oh my gosh.
It's okay, you don't have to juggle.
No.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything that involves like, throwing or whacking things, I'm like very good with my hands. Yeah.
Nice.
We were sitting on the couch earlier today being like, can we do anything? Do we have hidden talents? And I came up with, and this is a talent I haven't tested in over 10 years now, but I used to be very good at making my way around metro systems in foreign languages.
That is a great
But
skill.
handy.
It was handy a lot of the time.
I'm gonna need that if I go on vacation.
Yeah, right. So again, untested since I was a teenager, but it used to be a talent. So I'm gonna go with that one because I'm like, that's was a thing.
Yeah. You were really good at it. We went to Portugal together, and I would have been lost completely.
I'm literally going to Portugal on Friday.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you guys have pointers on not getting lost, that would be great.
Well, you need this hidden talent.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, now
yeah, Portugal's a really beautiful country.
yeah, it was awesome. I don't think I have a hidden talent. I tried to think really hard.
I think you do. We just haven't thought of it yet. We haven't figured it
I
out.
don't know.
it's very hidden.
I don't think I do.
You're really good at getting your eyeliner consistent.
Thank you.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Something I have never mastered.
It's taken like probably 15 years of practice. We've got someone's really good at archery.
That's cool.
Ooh.
Someone is good at riding a unicycle.
Also cool.
Wow.
Yep. What else do we got?
Now, if you learn to ride a unicycle, you could also juggle, and then you could join a circus.
That's very forward thinking. I'm glad that you think that
Alternate career.
I'm talented. I can barely ride a bike.
So stick with 2 wheels, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said that their hidden talent was doing a really good Gollum voice.
I mean, good party trick, that's for
like
sure.
Someone said making my tongue into a taco. I guess she means
Oh.
curling it.
Oh.
I've never heard of someone describe it that way.
Oh, we should have Ace of Shades in the background, shouldn't we?
Oh, yeah.
We have your book, but it's just sitting on the ground.
I was going to hold it up.
Where do we put it?
Here.
There we go.
Good.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Ooh, sculpture. That's cool too.
Oh, yeah, sculpture. Fast reading. That's handy. Oh, someone that is watching can fly a plane.
That's a cool talent.
Very.
Very cool. That is so much more useful than juggling.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone found my hidden talent. They
Aw.
said picking out good books for us to read.
Oh, it's true.
Thank you, you guys. And making OwlCrate boxes. Okay, thank you. That's
there
nice.
you go. Eyeliner and OwlCrate.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
People have some cool talents.
Making random shapes with rubber bands. Everybody's different. I love it.
All right. let's move on. Okay, this is a very important question, I feel. In New Reigns, the currency is called volts. If you could use volts to purchase any magical item, what would you buy?
Okay, so the magical item that I feel I desperately need is something that lets me teleport. I just have hands down decided this is the best power. I could go anywhere and then teleport right back to my bed. That would be so incredible.
Yes.
No commutes, no nothing, just right back to my bed. Also, I'd be able to rob places. That'd be kind of cool.
Neat.
All the stuff you could play with if you could teleport. I'm giving this a lot of credit.
Yeah, I was like, when we started, I was like, invisibility cloak. But then I went with, kind of on the same vein as yours, I went with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And you could go anywhere in space and time.
That's true.
And
That's
it's
true.
kind of like a house.
That's probably yeah.
I mean, assuming it would cost a lot of volts, but
Whatever. That's not part of the question.
Probably. That's a lot of speed to run.
yeah.
And I like the idea of the invisibility cloak. But another Harry Potter item that I really love is Hermione's bag that can like fit anything that you want to put in it. So I'm a bit of a hoarder, and I always have a humongous bag with me. But hers was like so cute.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Clearly, like wasn't heavy either. Like it was,
Yeah,
it was like had all that space and didn't have the weight of it. That's pretty incredible. Yeah,
It would be nice. It'd be so convenient for traveling
or camping or anything. Just like shoving everything in there.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many magical things that you could buy. They'd be so handy.
Lots of people want something that would help them teleport. I think that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, we should get on that as a human race.
Come on, guys.
Oh, someone said a magic carpet.
That's fun. I'd be really afraid of falling off.
Yeah. Someone else said an Iron Man suit so they could fly everywhere. Yeah. Wings. I think lots of people want to fly and have the ability to go places.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
My own wand from Ollivanders.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Then you could do like anything because you'd have a wand.
Ooh, this one's creative. A magical item that would summon characters to the real world whenever I need them. Clever. I like it.
Then you could make your actual gang.
Yeah, you could. You really could.
Yeah.
A hippogriff. Yeah. Oh, I like this one. Something to help me communicate with others in any language.
So like the babble fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh. I didn't know.
Yep.
Time turners. Yeah. Cool. So many cool things.
If only.
A ticket to Caraval. I like that.
Danger.
Might be fun. Maybe.
Oh, well. Maybe I just don't have the personality.
No, I wouldn't last at Caraval. I would fail.
No.
No.
Okay, well, let's go on to question 7. So this is the last kind of like silly question we have for you, and then we'll get into some other questions. There are many important families in Ace of Shades. If you could join any other fictional family, who would you join?
I mean, obviously, The Incredibles.
Oh, good one.
Picking
so
really
fun.
answers.
Okay. That makes me feel good. I would not have been able to just like come up with these on the spot.
I always impress people who can come up with the answers on the spot.
Yeah.
Because we can't.
I'm very glad I opened that email. But yes, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Like, I love the sibling dynamics. I also, like, for most of my life, I now have a ton of siblings, but for most of my life, it was just me and my brother. And we totally have the exact relationship. Like, yeah, that just, yes, I relate to them. They're very cool. I also want to be friends with Edna Mode. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. I think you and I have the same family.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. The ladies of 300 Foxway.
From the Raven
From
Boys.
the Raven Boys.
Precious.
Family.
Yes.
We're both obsessed with the Raven Boys, so
Yeah.
that makes sense that we want to be
That's
friends.
like a good choice.
Yeah, and like they're such a different kind of family.
Yeah, they're very fun, like unique and kind of slightly magical.
Yes. Plus, like, the all-female family. I always enjoy that in stories.
Yeah.
Same. And like you could go with like it would be awesome. Obviously, it'd be awesome to be part of like the Weasleys, but like
Yeah, the Weasleys is like my current family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, somebody suggested that to me, and I was like, "You mean the family I have now?"
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's so many good families out there, and I love that's like something about YA that I love is we're starting to see more of the like really good
agreed.
family in books, which is like we kind of missed out on for a while. I feel like
Yeah, it's almost like parents and siblings are just like kind of in the background, but
which in reality for teenagers they're probably there.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone said the Frasers from Outlander. I haven't read or watched.
I mean, I wouldn't want to live in that time period.
Valid.
No.
Someone said the Starks, but mostly just because they want a dire wolf.
That's right. I also want a dire wolf. Excuse me.
Let's see. The Inner Circle and the Night Court, that's kind of like a found family.
Found Family's good too. I love those stories as well.
True.
Let's see.
I saw a family from Love, Simon. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Simon versus
Oh.
Simon's parents are great. And sisters.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Yeah, lots of people saying the Night Court. Someone says that they want to be Harry Potter's family so that he'd finally have a family and they can spoil him.
They want to be called Weasley.
Excuse me.
And then we've got a lot of people saying the Weasleys, of course.
Which makes sense.
We were going to say that, but then we forced ourselves to pick something else. Whoa, so many people commenting.
Yeah.
Oh, Laura Jean's family from To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Love the
Very
sisters in
nice.
there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Well, we're about half an hour in already. Somehow. So let's, if anybody watching has any questions for Amanda, start leaving them for us and we'll read you out some questions.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay.
We're going to put you on the spot now.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah. Water break.
We're losing our voice. Oh no, and I spilled on my shirt. Real classy.
Okay, so here's an easy one to start it off. My Heart Lives in Narnia asked, what's your Hogwarts house?
Slytherin.
Nice, me too.
Definitely a hardcore Slytherin, and I have I'm very proud of that.
Me too.
I
That's
think
awesome. I can totally do that.
Looks like probably.
Better with a Book in My Hand asked, where did you get your inspiration for Ace of Shades?
A bunch of different things. I'd say definitely the biggest one was the movie Spirited Away. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, and I actually based the 3 largest characters in Ace of Shades off of the main characters in Spirited Away.
Ooh,
and that's
cool.
N was sort of based on Chihiro, Levi based on Haku, and then Bianca based on Yubaba. And I feel like the one that you see the most is definitely Bianca and Yubaba. I've had a lot of people read the book and say, have you seen the movie? I was like, have I seen the movie? Yeah.
Awesome.
I see it.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Nothing else about it really, but like those 3 things like really anchored the idea for me.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
I'm probably going to say this not wrong, but Varuna Vespa asked, when is the sequel coming?
Spring of next year. So like about a year from now.
Awesome.
I'm excited already.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to say some of these. Let's see.
The comments are coming in.
Yeah, it's like flooding. Happy Abby 15 asked, what is a book that taught you a lot / gave you a new perspective on life?
Ooh.
On life. Oh no, this is one of those questions that puts me on the spot.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do it off the top of your head.
These questions make me forget every book I've ever read.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of books I read recently so I can say something that's a little bit more current.
It doesn't have to be current. It can be anything.
I really liked the book The Secret History, which isn't current at all, but I read it currently. I don't know. I just really liked that book. It also was something that I feel like I've been trying to write a book. I've written the same book 6 different ways, and then somebody finally was like, Amanda, you need to read this book. It has like a lot of similarities, and I read it, and I was like, oh, okay. So now I feel like I've gone out searching for all these books that people have told me that I should read that I wasn't reading, and I'm like, maybe you all know me more than I thought you did. Maybe this is what I'm trying to do this whole time.
Yeah, The Secret History is such an interesting book. And I can't believe it was her Donna Tartt's debut book, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. It was
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, I had saved a comment and now it's gone. Gracie Marvel Books asked, do you have an author that you aspire to be like or look up to in some way?
Ooh. You can probably tell this from a lot of the answers I've had, but Holly Black probably. I just love, like, every book she's written is so different from each other. Like, I mean, I know she does a lot, like, with fairies. She's got the Spider-Man Chronicles. She's got her older series. She's got the new series. But, like, her standalones and her other work is just, they're all so different and all so cool. Actually, one of a big series that inspired Ace of Shades was the Curse Worker series.
Which love the Curse Workers.
Yeah, it's one of her lesser known ones, but it's got like all these mafia and like magical mafia families, and it's so good. Yeah, I would definitely say Holly Black. Her books are incredible.
Yeah, we're like fangirling over her a lot because obviously like we went there in January and like it just like was so cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I'm like so obsessed with The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King. I can't get it out of my head.
That's unfair.
I like begged the publisher. Like I had no chill. I was like, please. They were really nice. Let's see. This is a bit of a cruel question. From Britt Reads Books, if you had to pick a favorite character from Ace of Shades, who would it be?
Rude. Okay. Oh, I have like so many that I like for different reasons. Like some characters I like as people, some I like because they're fun to write. Like Bianca is a very fun character to write. Right. As a person, not my favorite. not my I'm very partial to N. I kind of have to say N. I feel like Levi and I are really similar as people, and N and I are not. And I feel like it would be hard for me to pick Levi because half the time, like Levi says something, and I'm like, haha, I would say the same thing. And I don't know, N's character arc, and she was just such an important character for me to write. Yeah. I feel like the number one reason, like back in the day, that I kept getting rejections on the book was people were just like, not really connecting to N's character, like not liking who she was in the beginning. And like for me, like I felt so strongly that I needed it to be her, and I loved who she was in the beginning. Like I love who she is in the beginning as much as I love who she is at the end, even though they're so different. I feel like over the course of the book, you kind of respect not only what she becomes, but like where she came from. Totally. In a way that we normally respect in books. So yeah, I'm just very partial. I like her a lot.
Yeah, it was like really amazing just to watch her character development from the beginning to the end as well.
She felt like a complete person the entire way through. Like she didn't need to change from being the little Missy into something else. Right. And, like she just felt very authentic. Or she was a great character.
Yeah. Undeniably Romantic asked, was Ace of Shades the original title, or did you have a placeholder title while you were writing it?
Actually, Ace is the original title. It did at one point change titles. It wasn't really my decision. An agency I used to work with actually changed the title. And I was never super thrilled with it. So a few years later, after I ended up like switching to a different agency, I like immediately changed back the title. I was very excited though. And my publisher was like, "We love the new title."
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm very happy about that.
Good. It was just meant to be that you switched your agents. It took a little while. I remember hearing that for you to write this novel. It just seems like now is the perfect time, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been a journey. I wrote this book back in high school. So that's been, like 5 or 6 years ago. And there was a lot of those years, like it wasn't all me working on it. I spent a large portion of those years, like just not thinking the book would be published. Like it had been shelved. I had given up. So it was very cool to dig it up 2 years later and just realize it was going to be published, having not read it for 2 years. That's a very weird story.
No, well, I'm happy it was.
Me too. I think it's like really inspiring because a lot of people are writing books and getting rejected, and sometimes it really is just a case of like the right time.
Oh, definitely. I'm a firm believer that like, you could shelve a book. It doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah.
Reimagine what your first book's going to be, but doesn't mean that it can't come out later.
Yeah,
for sure.
Here's a kind of funny one. Amy Bommy 130 asked, "What is your favorite casino game?"
Okay. I've never been in a casino. Well, when I was writing this book, I wasn't old enough to be allowed to casinos.
Right.
Which is super embarrassing. But I have stepped foot inside of one once. I was in Monte Carlo and I was like, I have to go in. This was like a big inspiration. And then now, like, okay. If I had to pick one, I love the game Hearts, which isn't a casino game. It is a Microsoft built-in computer game. It's not
Classic.
Classic shit.
But if you know how to play, I feel like most people play solitaire, but if you know how to play, the shadow game is actually pretty much fancy Hearts.
Huh. Cool.
That is cool.
That's neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
We haven't been to many casinos either, do we?
I like only went to Vegas for the first time like maybe a couple years ago, but although I like the idea and the visual of a casino, I don't really get the fun of it. Like I've played slots and you just watch your money disappear like instantly.
Yep.
And no, I don't think it's for me. But
definitely
it's
also
kind of fun to visit.
A lot of people tell me I have to go to Las Vegas, and it's actually not inspired at all by Las Vegas. Like I know it's like Sin City. Didn't realize that at 17, which is also embarrassing. But actually, it's like much more Atlantic City to me, because it also has a boardwalk, which becomes important later, more so later. But it's definitely like it's a slightly different, like the older crime of Atlantic City. Yeah. Also, another I really like is Kings in the Corners.
No, I don't know that one.
I don't know that one. Yeah.
It's a solo game. It's sort of like solitaire. Like you don't need anybody else. But it comes up a lot in the second book, just because I like throwing it out there. Because the second book is called King of Fools. Like
right,
they're always playing Kings in the Corner, and it just happens to be my favorite like solo game.
Nice. Michaela DeBonis asked if there's going to be a Daughter of the Burning City sequel.
At this point, I don't think so. Only because there are a lot of sequels to Ace of Shades that are coming out, and I honestly cannot imagine putting Serena and her family through anything more. They go through so much in the first book, like I can't imagine doing anything else to them. But I definitely have, I have so many book ideas and like stuff that goes even beyond the Ace of Shades series. So stuff that I'm really excited about, and I'd love to come back to Daughter, but I also like my heart has to go on into some other places. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Let's see. Everybody's just talking about their favorite casino games now. Let's see. Lost in Literature asked, "What is your favorite book series?"
Oh. So hard.
I shouldn't say Harry Potter. That feels like cheating.
I don't know if it's the truth.
I mean, it's definitely the truth. Like, what series? I feel like a lot of times when I was writing Ace of Shades, I was like, what did J.K. Rowling do? They would just come up with, like, it was like, they have butterbeer and stuff, so I should think of some names for cocktails. That sounds like fun to do.
And you did?
Yes, I did, yeah. And there are more. Had a lot of fun with that.
It would be fun to do as kind of like small details in a story. Mm-hmm. Just like
it's so fun. The problem is it's something that I do last. Like the second book is very long and it really expands the world a lot. You see so many more places in the city. And I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm one of those writers that rather than stop everything I'm doing and come up with a name for something, because I put so much thought into it, that I just put like in brackets, insert name here. And I tried to go back and like add all that in, but I definitely sent the first draft of the book to my editor with a ton of those just here.
Nice.
So, oops.
It's a good way to you can keep writing without losing your flow.
Yeah, exactly. Without
I can drop an hour on a baby name site pretty easily. Come up with a character name.
Yeah.
Shell Bookworm asks, "Do you know how many books will be in the Ace of Shades series at this point?"
For the story of, like, end story, I would say 3. It's a planned trilogy.
Nice.
I would love the opportunity to write a prequel novel. If that opportunity is ever given to me, it'd be, like, very tragic, but I love that at the same time.
Yeah.
So probably 3, maybe another. And there are also going to be short stories. I have,
Oh,
I think,
cool.
yeah, there's actually 3 short stories coming out this year.
Nice.
Every few, yeah, keep you kind of waiting in between the first and second books.
Will tide us over.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm not going to spell it out. DEJTBR Books asks, do you listen to music while you write?
Yes, I do a
Yeah.
lot. More so when I write than when I edit. When I edit, I need to, like, really focus on the words. I read out loud a lot. But when I write, I love book playlists. I'm totally obsessed. In fact, I don't think I have a taste in music unless it's on my book playlist. If it doesn't make me do things, like, I don't really know what the point is. But yeah, I have a bunch of them on my Spotify account. If you ever want to listen to my Ace of Shades playlist, it is there. I also have 80s rock versions of all of them.
That's cool.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
They're much shorter, but they're also very special to me.
Sounds good.
Little Shy Book Lover asks, what's your favorite book to movie adaptation?
Ooh.
A tricky question.
That's really tricky. Okay, now I have to not only think of books, but think of movies. What's a really good one? Really good book to movie adaptation. This is so hard.
Classic, like Lord of the Rings always comes to mind.
Yeah, that was a good one. There's been so many recently.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool. Okay. I'd probably say the Canadian version of Anne of Green Gables.
Oh yeah.
I know this is like random, but I love that book so much, and that movie was like exactly how I pictured everyone. It just right out of my head onto the screen, which is very cool.
I for sure had the VHS box set of that. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one. I feel like this is also going to be kind of a hard one to answer. Sorry. Melanie Rose Bookstagram asks, what made you want to be a writer?
Okay, so I've been writing for as long as I can remember, to the point that I don't know if I ever wanted this or if I actively chose this. I've just always been doing this. As a kid, I was really into creating things. Like, I would make up my own board games. I used to design buildings and like write music, and I would write books. Like, I just loved making stuff. But I don't know, books just always ended up being my favorite. I feel like the story could do all of those things at once, which is both fun and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Always been writing. Yeah, I've written a lot of books, and I was very young, and they were very bad. But yeah, Ace of Shades was probably my 5th novel I ever finished. I was a serial starter, and they were bad. They were really bad. I was a serial starter of an idea, and then I would write for 30 pages, and then I would just abandon it all the time. Some of them I'd come back to eventually. They're better now.
Well, finishing a story is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It wasn't until I started outlining that I was ever able to finish. I just needed that guiding hand more than I needed the plot. I needed someone to hold me through. Unfortunately, that someone had to be me, but yeah.
Here's one. Katie in Transit asked, the book cover and chapter headings for Ace of Shades are beautiful. What was the book design process like? Did you get any part of how it came apart?
It's interesting. So, about a year before the book came out, I had just gone to my very, very first book event, and it was before the release of Daughter of the Burning City. And I was on my way home. I was at the airport, and I was so tired, and they had hired an outside illustrator to send a sketch of a book and of the cover, and it was so pretty. I cried while I was boarding the plane. Everybody's looking at me, and I was crying, just staring at my phone. It's so beautiful. And then we ended up doing an entirely different cover that is also, I was at first like, you're leaving that, oh my goodness, and then they showed me the new cover, and it's like also amazing.
Yeah.
So like every vision that they've had for the book from like the beginning has been really, really great, and they've all been so different, but they've all been awesome. I didn't really have a lot on the first cover, honestly. Like they said it to me, and I was like, damn, like, all right, there's the cover.
Well, it turned out, and then we have your OwlCrate cover, obviously, back here as well.
That was also super cool to see. Yeah, they sent that to me, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, I knew they were doing an alternate cover, but I didn't really know what that meant. And so it was really, really cool to see. It's really cool to have that on my shelf. I was really excited to receive it.
Awesome. I'm glad you like how it turned out.
Yeah, I love how like I feel like it really like invokes the darkness of the city. I love it.
It definitely is. Like it's like the shades, like the shadows. Yeah, I'd always kind of thought the book would have a black cover. So and even though like there's still a lot of black and like darkness in it, like seeing it like, it's cool. Yeah.
It's a good looking book.
It is.
So should we do one more question? Two more questions? Our timer just went off, meaning we have less than 10 minutes because Instagram will kick you off after an hour with no warning. So we have a timer going. So we'll do one or two more questions and then we'll wrap it up. How about it?
Already. It's like it went by so fast. A Court of Reading 23 asks, is there anything you find difficult when it comes to writing? I'm sure there is.
Oh yeah. Everything. What's the hardest part? I'd say honestly, like just the doing it is really hard. Like it takes a long I'm one of those people that when I write, I don't like to just write a little and come back to it. I want to be able to have like started a segment and finish it. Like to just write a whole chapter in a sitting. And that takes a lot of hours. Like for me to write, I can write like maybe 1,000 words an hour. And so if my chapters are 3,000 words long, that's 3 hours to just sit down, have no interruptions, no distractions. And that's definitely the hardest part. It's, you kind of have to learn to just tune it all out and just say, I'm going to work and then just do the work. Even if I really want to be playing Sims.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's a nice positive one to end with. Farah12K asks, what is the best part about publishing books?
Ooh, a lot of things.
Yeah.
So many things. Like, the first thing is definitely meeting readers. Like, how cool is that? I feel like, for the most part, my books were being read by a few close writer friends, like maybe like 3 or 4 people. So to be able to like share with people and people have other ideas. My favorite thing since the title of the second book came out is people sending me their theories about what happens in the second. I always like evilly cackling over that. Then
has anyone been right yet?
No.
Done.
I think the release of the we call it a flap copy. It's like the when you open a hardcover and you see on the side the description of the book, like the Goodreads description. Okay. I think that's coming out like soon-ish. So maybe then people will have a slightly better idea of what the book's about. But right now it's definitely like shots in the dark, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. After that, I'd say, for so many years I was writing and not knowing if the books were going anywhere. And I love writing just for me. Like, of course you have to. But it's also really nice to know, like, I felt like really validated, and I felt like I had a team supporting me. Like that team element is just fun. Even not knowing if it's going to be a book. Like it's really cool to have that kind of people who are like pushing me and who believe in me, and knowing like all of my future ideas, no matter how weird they are, like that I have more hope for them is like genuinely very, very nice. I was always very nervous about what I pursued and what I didn't let myself pursue because I wanted to be practical, and now I feel like I can be weird, which is saying something because I feel like my books are very weird, especially if you read Daughter. My books are very weird. I can definitely always be weird.
They stand out though because of it. They're like such unique worlds, which I think readers really, really want these days. So, yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. World building is one of my favorite parts about writing, which is, I'm sure, very, very obvious if you've read the books. I enjoy coming up with the names of all the cocktails and the pubs and the magic. Yeah.
It almost makes you want to go there, but then you go, no, actually, don't want to go to New Rains.
Yeah, like I have to go to New Rains, but like I would be there with my tourist guidebook on the south side.
Well, should we wrap things up, I guess?
Yeah.
I'm starting to lose my voice, unfortunately.
You did well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Recently switched over to doing this on Instagram, and we just love it. We think it's so good to be able to talk to you face to face. It's so cool.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for like picking Ace of Shades. This has been so fun. You've been great to work with. I've been like getting tagged in like all the photos like every day. I've been so busy at work lately, and I feel like every time I look at my phone, I have like 30 Instagram notifications of people posting, and it's so nice. And like none of that would have happened if you didn't originally like the book like months ago. So really,
the community has been like really embracing it.
Yeah, it's been really great.
And so after the video is over, I just want to remind people that we will be doing, Amanda's giving away a signed copy of the red version of Ace of Shades, the original version. So in a couple hours, because I do have to rewatch the entire live show to get all the comments to load, we will be selecting a winner and do a little story to let everybody know who won.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks everybody who tuned in and watched with us.
Left comments.
Yeah.
It's always good to interact with everybody.
Yeah, this was awesome.
And we'll be back next month with another OwlBabble for OwlCrate. And we're starting to do them with OwlCrate Jr. So we will be with Roshni Chokshi next weekend. We'll be having an OwlBabble. So we're quite excited about that one too.
Yeah. All right.
So I guess we're going to say goodbye. But thanks again for joining us. And
thank you, Amanda.
We will talk to you everybody soon.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I've never done a live show.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed our live chat with Amanda Foody. We had a lot of fun talking to her. If you want to tune in live next month with our May author, it'll be happening on June 16th, and we'll leave all the details down below.
As per usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. Happy reading, and thanks for being awesome. Bye.